With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10.
Let's go! 319! 319!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Delano Hill. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20, 10, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Penny will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Here's Penny. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, They remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. Now it's Lockett. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
12, 12. 12. 3 down. Hey, 12, 12. 12.
On second down, here's Wilson. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Zebra.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Willie Henry able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Tempo.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Tempo.
Now Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's second down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. This is Carson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Tempo.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And his kick here is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson now off the bootleg. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Leopard! Leopard!
From the gun, Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Penny. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. from the shotgun. Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on fourth and inches.
Lucky 56.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Gotta go.
On first down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
14.
They go play action with Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Look for signals.
They'll try and run for it with Penny into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Jackson on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. Jackson on first down. They'll roll him out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Gotta go.
Here's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Baldwin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Tempo.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now it's Jackson. That is caught at the 7. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will shave one more off this lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 30. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 77 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going on.
They go play action now. Wilson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go, 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Jackson now down around his goal line, and he fires one incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, and that is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run it with Carson, able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now Wilson on second down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Throwing is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Ravens on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Here's Carson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They get it to him running left, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Spinning past him. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there, as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll toss it to Penny. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
3-19.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.